Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'll show you how you can launch an AWS EC2 instance, and now we'll learn how you can connect to that instance as well. So basically EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud, and it's a virtual machine that runs in AWS cloud, and it is used for hosting applications, running scripts, or setting up development environments, or any kind of use case you might think of. Alright, so that's basically a computer in your cloud. Alright, so to make an EC2 instance, we can first head to EC2 uh, service in our AWS account. For this also, first of all, you need to have an AWS account. So I have just made a free tier AWS account, which has premium access for 1 year at no cost. So you can also make a free account for the first year. All right. So now I can search for EC2 here, or I can just head to EC2 from the dashboard. And here I'll see the option for instances. So we have to basically build an instance. So if I go in the list of my instances, I do not see currently running instances right now. So for building an instance, we can click on launch instance, and now we can name it anything. I'll just name it something like my web server or anything you want to name it. And then I can set up additional configuration for my EC2 instance. Now, first of all, it will ask me to select the OS for our image. So there's Amazon Linux, which is AWS Linux. So it is kind of lightweight, but I would recommend you to use Ubuntu because that's just more worldwide used. You can also use Windows by Microsoft and other OS settings. I think Windows is also included in the free tier. Yeah, it is free tier eligible. And you can also use Debian, which is another Linux distribution. Alright, so I think that those are all the OS available. Mac OS will not be available in free tier. You need to upgrade to premium for that. Alright, so I'll just select here Ubuntu, which is I think a standard for instances nowadays. And now I can select the machine image. This is basically the configuration of our system. So if you want a customized or configure the system more into yourself, you can select it from here. I'll just keep it the default right now. If you are working on some LLMs or some machine learning models, you can select these images which are equipped with NVIDIA drivers, because that would be more beneficial for your machine learning training process. Alright, so for this, I have selected the standard Ubuntu server 24.04, and now I can move down and select the instance type. So instance type is basically the configuration of your system. They're basically the physical configurations that would be equivalent to the cloud configuration. So if I select T2 micro, it will select, I think, the basic configuration, the most basic configuration, and T2 nano is even smaller than that with just 500 megabytes of memory. So T2 micro is a free tier eligible instance type. So I'll just select T2 micro here. And there are many more instance type with a lot of complex configuration and architecture. You can also look upon that. Also depends on your application and the reason for hosting. If you're hosting a normal web application, I think T2 micro will be just fine. All right, so now we have set up T2 micro here, and now we can create a key pair here. If you do not have one, I currently have one, but I'll show you how you can create a key pair. This key pair can be used to connect to this instance through SSH. If you are connecting it through SSH using terminal, or even if you are connecting it using VS Code's extension like Remote Explorer, these keys will be used there. Alright, so I'll just create a new key pair and save it here. I use the RS encryption method, and I can name it anything. I'll just name it key instance, anything like that. And I'll choose PEM format because I want to connect it with OpenSSH after we create this instance. All right, so I'll just create a key pair here, and now it will prompt me to download that key, and I'll just download it wherever I want to and for later references. All right, so now moving on, we get to the network settings, and you can see we have two options here which allow HTTPS and HTTP traffic. So we need to enable these if we are making this instance for a web service. So this should be publicly accessible, and people should be able to send HTTPS and HTTP request to our instance. All right, perfect. So now we have configured the network as well. And now for the allow SSH traffic from, we can set it to custom IPs for your device if you want to connect, but I'll just set it here anywhere because that anyways requires a key to be connected. All right, now we can configure the storage. I'll just keep it as it is. If you want to add more storage, you can add it. You can add it by the add new volume button. And now, so I think we have configured our EC2 instance. Now we can launch this instance with the launch instance button, and it will start launching the instance. I think it has been created. Now, if I head to my instances, which would be right here, view all instances, or just head up to instances, and I'll refresh it now. So this is showing me that my instance is now active. So great, we have launched an instance now. So now I'll tell you how you can connect to this instance on your browser itself. So first of all, just select this instance and now click on connect. Then you can connect it using EC2 instance connect right here. And now I can choose the username, which is Ubuntu by default. So I'll just choose Ubuntu and I'll just use connect using EC2 instance connect here, which is already selected. All right, so now if I click on connect, this should open another window, another tab where my actual machine is present. Perfect. So we can see that it has opened a terminal. So this is basically the terminal of your instance, which is running in AWS cloud. Perfect. And I can normally run commands right here, like ls, or I'll just run here touch and I'll create anything like main.py. It will create a main.py right here, as you can see. So this is basically a Ubuntu system, which is present on your AWS EC2 instance. Perfect. So now we have connected to our AWS EC2 instance and we have learned how you can create an EC2 instance and also connect it using the browser itself. That's it for the video, and guys, thanks for watching.